it going? It's That Nerd Ryan here, and last week we did my top 5 movies of 2018. 2018. I saw 18 movies. 2022. It's become a running gag that I've messed up the year. Um, but yeah, so we did the top 5 last week. We're going to do the bottom 5 this week. And then after that, or actually before that, let's talk about the other movies that I saw. So, just a really quick rundown. I saw Black Adam. Thought it was a mid-tier movie, so obviously it didn't make either of these lists. I also saw Clerks 3 again. I really enjoyed the movie, but it wasn't as good as the other two, so it was kind of a mid-tier. Thor Love and Thunder was a mid-Marvel movie. Same with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Turning Red, I barely remember. I just remember it coming out this year, and that's about it. And then Hocus Pocus 2, we kind of already talked about it with the Christmas Story Christmas movie in the top 5. It just kind of had the same feeling of Force Awakens and Ghostbusters Afterlife and stuff like that, where it was just nostalgia bait. But yeah, without anything else further ado, let's talk about the bottom 5. So obviously number 5 is going to be the most liked out of these 5 movies, and number 1 is going to be my least favorite. So let's get into it. Number 5 was Lightyear. Felt like this was a completely unnecessary movie. We already had the animated Buzz Lightyear movie, and I felt like this was just trying to grab the Toy Story bait, since they cannot make Toy Story movies anymore with Woody no longer being part of the crew. It felt like it was referencing way too much of Star Trek, Star Wars, anything like that. But it still was a lot more tolerable than other movies on this list. Number 4 was Uncharted. I put it on this list because 2 reasons. 1, I completely forgot this movie existed, and I went and saw it in theaters. And 2, because of that, I don't remember the story. All I remember is Antonio Banderas, Tom Holland, and Mark Wahlberg are in this. And Mark Wahlberg was probably the best casting from what I remember, but other than that, that's all I remember of this movie. So, I mean, everything else on this list that I saw this year, I'm looking at right now, I remember most of the movie. Uncharted, completely blank. But I did put it over Lightyear because I do remember being excited for it and initially liking it. It's just I don't remember what happened in the movie, and that's about it. Number 3 is Fantastic Beasts 3. I didn't like this movie as much as I initially thought I would. There's a lot of unexplained things that happened in it, a lot of continuity errors from basically the last movie, and then just a lot of stuff that was missed opportunities and made me not like it. Johnny Depp not being in it aside, I just thought that it was kind of just a very terrible movie of like randomness and stuff not making sense. Number 2 is something that if you were to look at this review, again, as I said in last week's video, I did individually review all of these movies, so make sure if you want to get a more in-depth review, you check it out, except for this one. Because initially when I saw this movie, I thought it was a lot better. People were just hating on it for no reason. But then I bought it on DVD, and I rewatched it, and I realized Jurassic World Dominion is not as good as I thought it was. It did feel like it was less about the dinosaurs in a dinosaur movie, and it's kind of disappointing that an entire franchise ends on locusts being the main bad guy when it should have been the dinosaurs. And again, I did see, because I bought it on Blu-ray, DVD, whatever you want to call it, I did see the extended edition. I didn't feel like it helped as much as they were kind of saying. It's kind of like the whole Giganotosaurus thing being the Joker. That doesn't make any sense in any context of any version of this movie. It's supposed to be the main antagonist to the T-Rex, then use the Spinosaurus. It's basically like throwing a villain in. Mind you, again, I absolutely think Rise of Skywalker is the worst Star Wars movie. However, at least they brought back Palpatine for introducing a new villain into this trilogy. I don't like that they used Palpatine, but at least it's somebody we know. And not them throwing in, even though hardcore fans like me would know who it is, Grand Admiral Thrawn as the final villain that the average moviegoer would not understand. And it's like, okay, you're throwing in a random guy last minute that just is supposed to feel like a final boss, but doesn't. And that's how it feels with the Giganotosaurus. Well, especially when you had somebody like the Spinosaurus. You could have even brought back the Indominus. Stuff like that. They could have been like, oh yeah, no, we saw that they made an Indominus, so we attempted one too. And it's like more aggressive or something like that. But no, they had to bring in the Giganotosaurus, which looked cool, but literally was kind of just pointless, in my opinion. Number one is obvious. It's Morbius. This, like, literally, all I have to say is watch my review. I completely despised this movie. I almost fell asleep. And then at the same time, I was beyond bored. It's not as bad as the Christmas special that I reviewed a few weeks ago, but it was just so god-awful terrible. It was the movie that nobody wanted, nobody got, and yeah. So that is my bottom 5 movies that I've seen this year. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and follow me on all my social media down below. Happy New Year. See you guys next year. It's That Nerd Ryan, signing off.